Hello. Happy Friday. Just waiting for some people to come on. Hello. Alrighty, let's get started. Some of you are going to watch this back later anyway, I know that. What I want to talk to you about today is the fact that we need to get away from our desk more than we are. And what I mean by that is a lot of people are really struggling in business right now. And you've heard me say this a little bit. And, like I want to reinforce, this is not negativity. This is not planting any seeds about things are so hard, but just acknowledging that for a lot of people, there's some energy thing going on right now. And a lot of people are in a place of struggle. And one of the worst things that you can do is to stay at your desk and just push and push and push and push and continue to force things to happen. Because what happens is when we want things too much and we try too hard and we become too attached to an outcome, we kind of reek of desperation. And I've spoken about this before, but it's like that woman in the room who is desperate for a date and there's just this bad vibe that's coming off her, and we don't want that in business. So the best way that you can combat that, feeling like you're not getting anywhere, feeling like that it doesn't matter what you do in your business, things are just not turning out the way you want them to, the best thing that you can do is step away from your desk. Honestly, the best thing that you can do is live a rich and juicy life outside of your work and not make your work the one thing, the only thing that you focus on. We don't want our lives to become so one-dimensional that it's all about trying to get our business to the next level, or it's about trying to just make money in our business. For a lot of people right now, a lot of people are really struggling to make any money in their business. It's stressful. I know that. I know it's a really stressful time. But the thing that you need to do when you're in that place is to feel abundant. And the way that we feel abundant is to step away from our desk and remember what we love to do outside of our business. So what are the things that you can go and do today, even if you take 20 minutes or an hour out of your day, that are going to make you feel really good about you as a woman, as opposed to a businesswoman struggling to make ends meet? What is the thing that you can do that's going to make you feel really good about you as a woman? Because that's going to translate back to your business. So can you go for a walk near the beach? Can you grab your laptop and go and sit in a really luxurious hotel foyer somewhere this afternoon and order yourself a glass of champagne and enjoy being in a different environment? Is it, going to the library and taking out a whole bunch of magazines and then going and sitting outside somewhere and enjoying just stepping away? It doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but there are things that you have probably forgotten about in your life that bring you joy. For me, I have recently, when we were in the US last time and we were shopping on Rodeo Drive, I was reminded of just how much I love fashion. I love it. And so parts of me stepping away from my business right now, even though my business is doing well, is still needing to get away from my desk, because I know that too much time at my desk, too much time pushing, has the opposite effect for me. So a way for me to distract myself from business, because I am naturally a workaholic, is I've been creating this massive list of purchases that I want to make over the next 12 months. I've just discovered Alex Perry and I'm loving him. So I'm going to go and research, I'm going to go try some stuff on, and I'm going to make sure it's the one piece that I'm going to love for a very long time. Right now, I'm all about shedding things that no longer work for me. This is always an ongoing process, but I feel now more than ever that I just want to get rid of stuff and replace it with things that are more aligned with who I am and where I'm going. And so I'm taking that as I'm really making this a project. So right now my wardrobe is filled with stuff and a lot of it doesn't work for me anymore. I have some beautiful pieces in there, but they don't speak to who I am now. So I'm going to go auction those off on eBay. Actually, I might even auction them off on Facebook. I don't know, but I'm going to just make way for new and improved next level me. And I'm going to do it in a way that feels easy and elegant and there's no push involved. And that's a really exciting project for me to do outside of my business. So what else is there for you outside of your business? It might not be fashion for you. It might not be right now I'm really in this space of wanting to make things beautiful. So my home updating my wardrobe, all of those sorts of things. But that it might not be that for you. You know, it might be something entirely different. It might be that you forgot about your passion and love for getting in the outdoors somewhere and going hiking to the top of a mountain somewhere. Go do that. You know, is it the lost art of taking time to just switch off from everything and read a book that is not a self-help book or not a business book, but just a book for the sake of reading a book? I have a beautiful Megan Hess book on Coco Chanel, her story, and I love that. I love to sit there with that book with a glass of champagne, a candle burning, everything switched off, and just immerse myself in her life. And that's really interesting to me. That makes my life feel richer. It makes me feel like I'm less one-dimensional. And that's my journey this year. It's about you know, releasing those overworking tendencies that I have and filling my life up with things that remind me of who I am and the things that I love to do. And that's forcing the work time out, which is what needed to happen. You know, that saying about you can't just quit something, you often need to replace it with something else to take up that space. And that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing different things into my life that are making me enjoy it more, making me feel like I'm not just all about my business. My business is important to me, it absolutely is. Rise is, you know, a project that I really, really love, and Katrina and I speak most days, and I love that. But I'm also going through a rebrand with the Michelle Hex brand right now. I'm keeping it under wraps. It's slowly emerging. But next month, at the start of next month, I'm going to have a sale where it's basically a retirement sale of all the programs that I have through the art of kicking ass elegantly. And I'm going to retire them. So I'm going to have this massive 10-day sale. So keep yourself tuned there. They're going to be super cheap. I'm going to run them out, and that's a way for me to say this is my last hurrah for this. I love these programs. I want people to have them, but after that I'm kind of done with them. And so this is where I'm at. And as I say, I think there's a lot of energy around right now where people are doing a similar sort of thing. So be asking yourself, you know, what do I need to get rid of, and how can I, you know, make sure that everything be a curator of your life, not just your business. Be a curator of your life, and you know, the people that you bring into your business and the experiences that you bring into your business. What do you want your life to be about from here on in? And the best way for you to get in touch with that is to step away from your desk, step away from your work, and go and enjoy life outside of it. We know things need to be done, but they're going to get done. It's just like at home, you know. Morning, Melanie. You know, things get done. I don't it's not my priority in life to, you know, scrub my house top to bottom every day and make sure it's sparkling. But I like it to be clean and sparkling, but it gets done in amongst the other things, you know, the things that I love to do. And so today I'm going to head off. I'm going to catch up with a past client of mine, and we're going to catch up for an hour or so over coffee. I'm going to go explore the shops for a little while. I'm going to have a few injections because I'm a little bit overdue. And then I'm going to come back, I'm going to enjoy a glass of champagne. I'm going to read some sort of novel that has nothing to do with business or self-help or anything like that. I'm going to enjoy immersing myself in that. Day's out for a few hours tonight, so I have that time on my own. House is looking nice and clean, and I'm going to enjoy that. The small things are mattering to me more and more than ever before, really. And I think a lot of people are in that space too, where you know, we have come back to really wanting to plug into the simple things, and the simple things that are that make us happy. We're so overwhelmed and we're so bombarded with messages and noise from all over the space, from all over the place, that I think, you know, many women particularly right now are wanting to just distance themselves from the noise and just, you know, remember what is important to them and plug themselves into that again. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about, I've been meaning to write about it. So many people have been asking me about my engagement and how that all went down, and I was going to write about it, and I just haven't been feeling it about writing about it. So I know I need to talk to you about it because I know some of you are really curious. So I'm going to let you know, going to fill you in on how that all went. So when I was in the US, Dave come over, and I've been planning this for a while. Dave and I have been together about 4.5 years now. And, you know, he's the one. And we are very good for each other. We drive each other crazy, but he's a very strong man, and he won't let me wrap him around my little finger, which has been a bit of a problem in the past. And so he challenges me on a lot of different levels, but he's very supportive of me, and you know, we just gel, and we had this amazing life together. And so I was in no hurry to change that, really. But for me, getting engaged was just a really nice next step. I've been married a few times before. You know, by this stage I would have normally been married, divorced, or thinking about it by now, you know. And you know, the question was, do I really want to do this again? Do I really want to go down this path? And you know, for me it was, you know, do I even deserve it? You know, I've tried this a few times and I've screwed it up, so you know, should I even go down this path again? Because it's kind of getting a little bit embarrassing now. And then I had to ask myself, what do I really want? You know, what do I really want? And it is important to be married at some point. I believe in it. This is why I kept doing it, I guess. And so I thought the time was right. And about 12 months ago, I started to put a plan in place. And it wasn't a huge plan. It was just, I'm going to do this myself when the time feels right. I'm going to go and design my own ring, and I'm going to buy my own ring, and I'm going to do this my way, differently to how it's ever been done before. And so I knew that I wanted Dave to come overseas with me at some point, and I knew that the US trip was going to be a good one. So he came over, and I'd already been working in the States for a couple of weeks, and then he came over, and we had 2 weeks. We did a road trip together, and I knew I was going to ask on that trip. I picked up my ring just before that. I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see in this light, but it's rose gold, diamonds, and that beautiful pink stone is a morganite, which is like a topaz type thing. Anyway, so I had my ring, and then I just was open to when is this gonna, you know, when it feels right, I'm gonna ask. I was not attached to any place that we were in. It didn't have to be anything. There was no guidelines other than when does the time feel right to ask. And back home, I'd created this little video that went for about 4 minutes, I think it was. And it was a bit of a chronicle of our life together from the moment we met, including our online profiles. We met on eHarmony. And so I started with those about how it all met. And then the video went through, and it was to our favorite song, or the song that he chose for us. And then at the end, I asked the question in the video. And of course, we've gone out to dinner. We're in Vegas. We're in this lovely French restaurant in Vegas. And I handed him the video, and I said, I've got something that I want you to watch. And in true Dave style, he said to me, oh God, you're not going to propose to me, are you? And so I nearly died. And I just said, just watch it. And the video started, and about 30 seconds in, the Wi-Fi dropped out. So we had just had entree, and the Wi-Fi I couldn't get it started again. So I had to just, you know, put it to the side, enjoy our dinner, all the rest of it. We went for a walk, and then he said, oh, I think we've got Wi-Fi now. And we stayed in the Venetian, which is beautiful. And there was this massive big lobby area, and there weren't a lot of people around. And so we sat there, the Wi-Fi came back on, and I watched him watch the video. And honestly, he had no freaking idea. I cannot keep anything from him. He has guessed things that, you know, when I've had surprises for him before, it's just like, how the hell did you guess that? He should have been a detective or something, because he can just work this stuff out. And I thought he knew for sure. But he really had no idea. And as I watched his face while he was watching the video, I could see he had no idea whatsoever. And he said yes, obviously, but it was such an incredible moment, and I couldn't believe I got it over him, because I thought for sure he knew. But and that's kind of it. And so it was just a small thing. There were no photos. We got engaged or anything like that. It felt very private to me. I think that's probably part of why it took such a long time to share it as well, other than, you know, people that I've had one-on-one conversations with. But I'm really glad I did it that way. We're in no hurry to get married. It'll probably be a couple of years at least, but it just, as I say, it just felt like a really nice next step. And yeah, we're really happy, and nothing's changed, which is awesome. Other than, yeah, we're always committed. I think, you know, we were always committed anyway, and we're always going to be together forever and all that sort of stuff. But for me, it just felt like the next step, and it's all worked out the way that I hoped it would. It was one of those things that was on my list for a long time, and some of you would have watched me where I've shown you my previous vision boards, and I said there's something hiding underneath there. And underneath one of the images on my vision board, if you lifted it up, you'd see that there was this ring sitting as an image behind it, or some version of this ring. And that's been on my vision board for a couple of years because the time just wasn't right before then. We still, I still had to work out whether, this was a forever thing, and had to be really sure. And so did he, I guess, and I had to know that he was sure as well. And so that's that. And I'm so glad that I did it my way. And people have asked me, did you buy him a ring? And I didn't. And he's such a practical guy. And for me, it was like, do I do that? Or he's just going to say, well, why would I have the promise ring when we get married? I'm going to have another ring. So that's kind of how he thinks. But he said to me, so did you buy me a ring or not? And I'm like, I didn't, because I didn't know. So I bought him one when we were in Vegas. So he's wearing that now, which is kind of cool. But then, of course, it's an interesting thing, because he's very detached from the ring. And I'm sure when people start talking about the ring, he feels a little bit awkward because I bought it. And traditionally, men do that. But he just has to be okay with that. And I'm certainly okay with it. It was something that I wanted. It was my decision. I asked the question. So I figured in my mind, it was only right that I organised that. And so women out there, if you are thinking about popping the question and thinking about how am I supposed to do it, just plug into the way that you want to do it. What feels right for you, what feels like the right way for you to do it. And then just be brave, just go for it. I didn't know that he would say yes. I actually was, I was quite prepared for him to say no, either because he didn't think we needed it or because I've been married a few times before and it's screwed up. And he had said to me in the past, I think when you get married, that's when things turn to shit. So I'm never marrying you. So, I knew that if he said no, it wasn't because he didn't want to be with me forever. I wasn't actually really attached to a yes. It was just, I felt like it was a nice time to ask the question. We'll see what happens. And of course I was happy that he said yes, but I knew that we'd be okay either way, Anyway, that's that. But as far as getting away from your desk and all that stuff, just please spend some time thinking about if you're in a full throttle in your business right now and that's all you want to do and you're loving it and it lights you up and all the rest of it, then just go with that energy. But if you're feeling like you're forcing yourself to sit at your desk because you need something to happen, just know that the best thing that you can do is step out of it, step away from the desk, go and do things that light you up, go and do things that make you enjoy life. What are the things that you used to love that you're not giving time to anymore? One of the things that I used to love was flying, and I'm still working around when is going to be the right time to go back and start flying again, and I definitely will. I want to get into my aerobatics and stuff like that. It's not time now. I'm focused on other things. Pardon me. But think about, what are all the things that you've done in the past that you used to love? And you might think, oh, those days are gone now. I don't need to do that anymore. Or I did that once upon a time. But just think about the things that you used to do that lit you up and think, how can I, is this something that I want to explore again? Is this something that I want to tune back into? And if it is, then do yourself the service of honoring that stuff. Don't get so caught up in growing your business that that's all you do, because you'll burn out. It's not going to be enjoyable for a long time. It'll be enjoyable for a little while, and then you'll be asking yourself, what else is there in life? And that's kind of where I was. There's so many hours and thoughts and so much energy spent on building a business. And when I got it to a certain level of success, which was great, I'd been working to it for a long time. It was kind of like, now what? Because I'd gotten to do all those other things. And the last couple of years I have been enjoying my life so much more. So next week I've got a bunch of girls together. We're going to meet at the Crown Conservatory. I love that place. I'm going to have lunch there. I'm having lunch with my mum next week as well. I've got lots of little things planned over the next month before we start our events again around the country on the 7th of September, where we head to Perth. And then it's going to be, for 2 months I'm going to be traveling and all over the place. So until then, I've got some time at home, doing the things that I love. I've got time to make my home beautiful. I've got time to, re-edit my wardrobe. I've got time to do all those things. So whatever it is that lights you up, go and do that. Step away from the business. Forget about trying to make things work, trying to make things better, trying to make money. Just suspend those thoughts for a little while and go and do something else. And it's going to have a direct impact on your bottom line at some stage. I guarantee it. People want to be inspired not just by the work that you're doing. They want to be inspired by the life you're living, you know. And no one's going to be inspired by the fact that you're at your desk 24/7. You know, nobody, that's not an inspiring lifestyle. What is the lifestyle that, you know, whatever it is that you're doing and trying to sell, people are looking to you to lead the way, and they're looking at the lifestyle. So I see I've got some of my martial arts guys on here with martial arts schools. You know, when people come along to join and train in martial arts, they don't just want to see that you're always training, they want to see the benefits of that martial art. Like, how are you living your life outside of that? How does that translate into making you a better human? Like, what is the payoff for this? You know, if you're a coach and you're, say for example, you're a business coach, people don't just want to see that you're in business all day, they want to see the benefits of that work. So make sure that you get out and live your life, live a rich and juicy life. Don't forget to do that. And then, you know, that is going to inspire people to want to do business with you. That's what it's all about. But sitting at your desk trying to white knuckle it and push and push and push and push to get a result is often going to have the opposite effect, where it pushes what you want away. I've got my podcast up now, so I'm going to put that link in there. Right now, under my own brand, I have nothing to sell. So any Facebook Live that I do is going to be just about content, hoping to inspire you. You're going to hear me bang on quite a bit these days about, I've just posted the link above the video, about, you know, this balance really, and about making sure that you are living that rich and juicy life. That's what that podcast is all about. I'll pop the link up there so you can go and jump on there and have a listen. I'll have another episode for you next week. And in the meantime, get away from your desk, do things that light you up, and have an amazing Friday and enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.